Welcome to my channel, you beautiful people. Today I've got a full body workout just using some resistant bands, so easy to carry around when you're going on holiday. Okay, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and remember to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Okay, so here we're starting with an overhead squat. So you just keep your arms nice and high over your head and you just squat into go into your squats. So this movement is so good for when you're just learning to do squats, yeah, because the overhead squats force you to keep that neutral spine, keep your body upright, and keep your chest nice and high. These are things we teach as a coach or as a personal trainer for a client to do. So you're not leaning forward, you're forced to stay upright as you're going to sitting down into that squat position. So remember, keep your arms over your head. If you find that your arms are coming forward, then you know you're starting to lose form. You will find that you start to lean forward when that happens. So remember, keep your arms over your head, arms to each side of your head, about in line with your ears. Okay, so that's your overhead squats. So we rest for 15 seconds and then we go into our next movement. Now remember, when you're doing these movements, use a resistant band that is going to challenge you. So you might want to go heavier than me here, which is the red. It's the lightest one normally with all the brands. So you might want to go heavier if you're stronger than me, but make sure that that resistant band is really challenging you. Another way to make it even more challenging, if you want to use the red, is to make sure that you step even wider, so you make it shorter. That's going to challenge you a lot more. So here we're doing a tricep overhead extension. Keep your arms nice and close into your ears, elbows nice and high, and just work through your triceps. Okay, so we rest again and then we're gonna go into our third movement here. So we're doing about 20 reps per movement, 10 to 20 reps per movement. Yeah, just make sure you're really challenging yourself, people. I can't emphasize enough, challenge yourself. Don't work in that comfort zone, push yourself. Okay, so here we're doing a movement that is got two parts to it. So here I'm doing a back row, and then here I'm doing a straight leg deadlift. So back row and then straight leg deadlift. So when we do that back row, we want to make sure we're keeping that nice neutral spine, and when we extend our elbows upwards, we want to make sure we're working through our back. And then when we go into the deadlift as well, when we bring our chest nice and parallel to the floor, want to make sure that we're pushing our hips back, we're extending our hips back, so we feel that stretch through the hamstrings. And then when we come up, we're squeezing our butt, so squeeze those glutes as you come up. Okay, so like I say, two parts to this one. So we got the row, back row, and then we've got the straight leg deadlift. Okay, so just make sure you're actually using a resistant band that is challenging you. Or if you have only got one resistant band and you're thinking, okay, I need it to challenge me a bit more because you got maybe the lightest or the lighter one, then just shorten it to give you that resistance that you need to challenge you. Okay, so I think I did about 20 reps with this movement. Okay, so we take some more rest, about 15 to 20 seconds rest, depending on you. And then we're gonna go into some bicep curls here. So when you're doing your bicep curls, you wanna just make sure you keep your elbows nice and close into your body. So that way, when you're flexing or when you're coming up to the top, extending your arms up into the top, there's not much movement into your forearm. You're just literally extending from the elbow and you're coming upwards. working through your biceps, challenging your biceps. So don't swing your arms back and forth. Keep that good contraction through your biceps as you come up. Yeah, making sure that way we really, like I said, targeting those biceps, people. You want to have toned arms. Make sure you're really focusing on that mind to muscle connection. Again, mind to muscle connection, people. Okay, so gonna rest for a bit, 15 to 20 seconds, and then gonna go into my next movement. And again, I'm just stepping out into side, so I add in enough resistance, so I'm shortening it. And here I'm gonna do squat with an overhead press. Yeah, so squat, sit down into that squat, and then you go into that overhead press as you come up. So working through the shoulders as you press upwards. This is a good one. So you fully extend up, so you feel that stretch through your abs as well, or you're working through as you extend fully at the top, you're working through your abs as well. Remember, when you're doing squats, if you do them with good form, people, that's why I keep on emphasizing on correct form. You're gonna be targeting your core as well. Yeah, you want to strengthen your core, so you want to make sure you're doing these movements with correct form. So go down nice and slowly, coming up, fully extend up, feel the stretch through the front. Okay, you're gonna feel it through your back as well as you fully extend at the top. Okay, so it's another good one, people. Okay, so just rest again, and then we go into working the chest here. So just bring it to about mid-chest, and then from there, you're going to do some chest flies here. So when you're coming forward, making sure you're adding in even more resistance here as you press, bring the weight forward. Think of using dumbbells, that same kind of concept. Yeah, as you come forward, really work through your chest. Keep your chest nice and high as well. Sure, you can see my chest is popping out, so my chest is nice and high as I do this movement, and I'm really thinking of that mind to muscle connection as I bring my arms into the front. So you go out into the sides. As you go back, you feel that stretch. As you come in, you contract those muscles. Mind to muscle connection, I can't emphasize enough. Don't go too fast. Keep it nice and controlled, because that's going to really target those muscles a lot more or better. Okay, so here it takes some rest again, and I went into this movement. I actually repeated this movement twice, one of my favorite movements. So here we're targeting the inner thighs as we do that lateral lunge, and then we're also going to work through the shoulders and through the back a bit as we extend that weight upwards. Okay, so you can always come up to the top and then extend like I did with the first 4 reps. Come up to the top before you extend, or you're gonna just extend as you come up. There we go. So now I change it up and I'm just extending as I'm coming up. So I'm not waiting until I get to the top to extend. So you can do whichever works for you. Yeah, just make sure when you're extending your arms, overhead press, when you're doing that overhead press, you're really fully extending up to the top. Also, when you doing the lateral lunges, as you go to switch the weight from side to side, making sure you're pushing your hips back as well as you switch. Okay, so I see a lot of people doing lateral lunges and not going wide enough. So you're not really going to hit the inner thighs if you're not wide enough. So go nice and wide, and make sure as you transfer that weight from side to side, you're pushing your hips back as well. Feel that stretch into your inner thighs. So I rested for a bit, and then like I said, I went for another round of these to finish off. So I'm just going to repeat the same ones here, and just go for another round of about 20 reps. So here again, switching the weight side to side, making sure you're pushing your hips back as you sit into that side lunge, making sure you're keeping your core nice and engaged and you're keeping that nice neutral spine. So I would say invest into some resistant bands. They're so good for you to take it up a notch. Yeah. So just you can. I'm sure if you're a person right now, we're working from home a lot, and you're exercising from home, then maybe you don't have equipment, or you're using your own body weight. Change it up. Invest in some resistant bands. They're not that expensive. You can get them on Amazon. They're different brands. Invest in some. Make sure you invest in a red one as well, because that's the lightest and it will get you doing. If you can use really heavy ones, this will be good. Okay, so, and it's so easy to carry around when you're going on holiday. All right, people. Thanks for joining in. Please don't forget to subscribe, people. Till next time, stay positive. Peace out.